Right now at 6, we're headed to Miami as the library there celebrates 100 years of serving the community, which included some cake. Plus, more than 100 vendors were on hand for the 30th annual Cecil Floyd Craft Show in Joplin. And Nick Kelly.
Cloudy but mild for today, but we got some rain chances wanting to sneak in for tomorrow, but it's not the only chance for rain for the week ahead I'm watching. We'll start breaking things down with first weather coming up.
And in sports, it's Seneca taking on Mexico, Missouri in the Class 3 state quarterfinals.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Miami Public Library is celebrating 100 years as a library. Now, the original building was built in 1921 and replaced by the current building in 1962. Now, according to Marcia Johnson, the library's director, the building is part of the last Carnegie Grant funds in Oklahoma.
The first actual library building was built on this corner in November of 1921, or it was actually open in November of 1921, and it was a Carnegie building, and it was the last Carnegie grant funds in Oklahoma. Carnegie awarded grant funds all over the United States, but in Oklahoma we were the last to receive one of those.
The library celebrated by combining this event with their annual book sale and had other special events such as a birthday cake and a children's program. The Cecil Floyd PTA held its 30th annual craft fair today. Now, for the past 30 years, the PTA has held the show to help raise money for the school. There were 125 vendors on hand for the craft fair with a variety of items available. Nearly every classroom was packed to capacity as more than 1,000 people came to shop around.
It's a big job, but it's one of those that it's very rewarding to know that we're keeping it going, and we're keeping some of our veterans vendors that come back for decades. They're still here with us. Our customers that have been bringing generations of family. It's wonderful, and in return, we're giving it back to the school, to our kids. So it's a great reward.
Now, to help raise that money for the school, vendors are charged a booth fee and there's a $3 admission. Collette says in the past, they've managed to bring in upwards of $20,000 for Cecil Floyd. Well, the Joplin Empire Market kicked off its 4th annual holiday market. The market included special holiday festivities like photos with Santa and other holiday-themed vendors. In addition to Santa being in attendance, the market will also be hosting special holiday programs for kids and local charities from now until Christmas. The Empire Market says ultimately it's their way of giving back during this season.
We have more jewelry, we have handmade leather goods, we have a local children's book author, we have our alpaca products back just for the holiday season. So it's really a way to come in and show your support for the small businesses that help make up our community.
The holiday market will continue every Saturday until Christmas and will also have a special event on Christmas Eve. Well, James River Church spent today preparing Thanksgiving baskets before giving them away to those in need. Now, all 4 campuses, including the one in Joplin, packed a total of 1,400 baskets to provide complete Thanksgiving meals to the community. And by complete, we mean all the fixins, including pie, yams, green beans, and of course, a turkey.
You know, a lot of these families are driving up, not able to provide for a number of different reasons, like you listed, of COVID, of falling on hard times in this season. And so, just to see the reaction of smiling and just being thankful for it, it's why we're here. It's why we came out early. It's why we have hundreds of volunteers showing up and giving back to the community.
James River partnered with Price Cutter to provide this year's meals. It was a beautiful day to get out for a lot of these things. Nick Kelly joining us.
Yeah, even though we had quite a bit of cloud cover pickup throughout the day, Chris, temperatures, they stayed mild, mainly in the lower 60s across much of the region. We're still looking okay despite a lot of cloud cover up top from 7th and Rangeline and all across the area in general. But a quick glimpse at the surface map shows a cold front just to the north and west. That's going to come on through later on tonight into tomorrow to try to give us some scattered showers to wrap up the weekend with, but we're not seeing anything right now, thankfully. I will point out the temperatures are mainly in the lower to middle 50s, but a few upper 40s are already trying to pop up in our far northwestern counties. In fact, our northwestern counties will have the best shot of dropping back into the lower to middle 40s later on tonight. But in general, most of us will keep falling through the 50s, down eventually to near 50 with that front trying to bring in some scattered showers showers later on tonight. We'll break down that wave, Chris, plus more chances of rain for the week ahead here in a bit.
All right, Nick, thank you. Well, the TSA says more than 2.25 million people passed through U.S. airport security checkpoints on Friday. As the holiday travel season heats up, health experts are hoping that doesn't ignite a winter wave of new COVID cases. CBS correspondent Elise Preston reports from New York.
Families that missed out on getting together for the holidays in 2020 are making up for lost time starting with Thanksgiving.
We're all vaccinated, we have our cards.
Like millions of other Americans hitting the skies and roads, the Kaplan family is taking precautions. But health experts worry that gatherings in enclosed spaces could add fuel to already rising COVID rates in many parts of the country. The CDC says more than 110,000 new cases were reported Thursday, with the 7-day average above 94,000. On Friday, the CDC director endorsed an advisory panel's booster shot recommendation, saying anyone 18 or older can get a Pfizer or Moderna booster 6 months after their second dose.
There's no more ambiguity. If you're 18 or older and you've been primarily vaccinated, go get boosted.
But some 47 million American adults remain unvaccinated. Upper Midwest states like Minnesota are feeling the impact.
A quarter of the state's population, unvaccinated, still represents a lot of human wood for this coronavirus forest fire to burn, and that's what's happening.
One Minnesota school district is extending its Thanksgiving break to 9 days because of a COVID outbreak.
The best time to take an action to try to slow or decrease the spread of COVID is before it gets out of control.
The superintendent, like so many across the country, says the school district is doing everything it can to avoid returning to distance learning. Elise Preston, CBS News.
Now, Philadelphia on Friday became the latest big city to mandate vaccinations for its 26,000 employees, joining a dozen others, including New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. And we take this time now to honor one of our many four-state heroes. Signalman First Class Don Ezel served in the Navy during Vietnam, his hometown, Galena. And we're proud to recognize Signalman First Class Don Ezel, tonight's four-state hero. We'll still ahead on the KOAM News at 6, the impact of the COVID Delta variant on pregnant women. And Austria becomes the first European country to initiate a full COVID-19 lockdown.
Beat the Black Friday.
The chance of death or stillbirth among pregnant COVID-19 patients increased when the Delta variant emerged. Those are the findings of 2 studies out on Friday. The first study is from the CDC, and it looks at more than 1 million deliveries. It shows women diagnosed with COVID-19 are more likely to suffer from a stillbirth, and that risk increased when the Delta variant came on the scene. A second study out of Mississippi shows deaths among pregnant COVID-19 patients rose when the Delta variant became dominant. That's based on data from more than 1,600 infected pregnant women. Austria has become the first European country to impose a full COVID-19 lockdown to tackle the autumn and winter season in the midst of soaring coronavirus infections, according to Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg. The national lockdown will commence Monday and will last for 10 days minimum and could be expanded for a further 10 days. According to Schallenberg, as he told reporters at a news conference in Vienna, the government also announced mandatory coronavirus vaccinations for everyone starting February 1st of next year. Well, how Americans plan to celebrate the holidays in the pandemic this year, and millions of Americans may be eligible for another dose of protection against COVID-19. Naomi Ruckham has some of the week's top health stories.
An outside CDC advisory panel recommended to allow booster doses of the Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccine to anyone 18 and older. The panel also voted to recommend people 50 years and older should receive a booster if they completed their vaccine series at least 6 months ago. Patients vaccinated with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine were already eligible for a booster 2 months or more after the single shot. A new analysis by the CDC finds an estimated 30% of healthcare workers in U.S. hospitals remain unvaccinated against COVID-19. Researchers found vaccination rates were highest among workers at children's hospitals, and that overall healthcare personnel vaccination rates slowed down in the fall. And with the holiday season fast approaching, a new study finds most Americans still plan to celebrate cautiously due to COVID-19. The study out of the Ohio State University found about half of Americans will ask their guests to wear masks and disclose their vaccination status, while nearly 3/4 say they plan to only celebrate with members of their household. Those are some of the week's top health stories. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
Later on the KOAM News at 6, how a young man in Arizona managed to give away 400 pairs of new shoes.
Plus, we were mild for today with a lot of cloud cover, but the clouds could give way to some showers later on tonight. We'll break that down next. Quite a bit of cloud cover rolled in today, but that did not stop us from turning a bit milder compared to how we started the weekend, not with yesterday. After a cold start with most of us in the lower 30s, we were able to climb back into the mid-50s throughout the day yesterday, only into the mid-40s this morning, and then at least a good rebound back into the lower 60s for this afternoon. We do keep things quiet to start the evening out, but I am watching a quick wave along with a quick front. That'll bring us some showers for Sunday, mainly during the morning hours, but that'll keep us chilly from tomorrow all the way through Tuesday. Then as we hit the middle of the week and heading toward Thanksgiving, I've got another system I'm watching, and that wants to bring some rain chances our way. We'll break that down as we go along. But looking quiet from 7th and Range Line to 6:34 on this Saturday evening, 56 in Joplin with the south breeze at 8 miles per hour. The humidity not too terrible, sitting at 57%. Most of the area is sitting at 50 to about the mid-50s. But once you hop northwest of Pittsburgh and Parsons, we are seeing some more upper 40s popping up on the board from Iola, Chanute, Yates Center, points northwest. That's because most of us are seeing a light south breeze, but we actually have a cold front draped across the Kansas Turnpike. That is the next front that will send most of us back into the upper 40s to near 50 tonight, maybe some lower 40s in our far northwestern counties. But as that front rolls in, you can see how the cloud cover will pick up and eventually some scattered showers picking up as we go into the overnight. But nothing underneath the cloud cover right now. We do notice some rain across northern parts of Missouri and more rain picking up off to our northwest on the backside of this cold front. But even though this cold front is going to try to start some rain chances out once we go late into the night, it's primarily this upper level wave that's going to do most of the heavy lifting. That's what's going to bring us our best shot for rain this weekend. Again, tomorrow morning, well, as soon as this wave clears out, we'll have a few nice days to dry out and allow temperatures to try to warm back up once again. But future track is bang on with a lot of cloud cover sticking around to start the overnight out. Here's 2 a.m. You can see how the future track wants some of these scattered showers to pop up, but you can see very scattered, mainly our southeastern counties. Nothing too heavy by any stretch of the imagination. But once we get past the morning, we'll go from mostly cloudy skies to partly sunny skies during the afternoon. And we're going to try and take advantage of that late sunshine to at least warm up a little bit, but not very much. 50 in the morning, 55 by noon. Only seeing highs topping out right around 58 degrees. Looking at Sunday night, we're mostly clear, but with the clear skies, we'll drop back into the upper 20s to lower 30s. Then we'll have just partly sunny skies for Monday, but despite that, we'll see highs. You're going to rebound back near 50. Quiet for Tuesday, while we keep an eye on that next wave developing out to the west. But Wednesday is when we'll have to keep an eye on the skies. Mainly scattered showers Wednesday afternoon and the Wednesday evening, but then as that next wave really kicks in, here's Thanksgiving morning. I think that's our best shot for rain on Thursday. And then we're going to dry out by the time we all sit down to turkey, and certainly clearing out by the time we head toward Black Friday. So 58 tomorrow, scattered showers in the morning, then we're dry for the rest of the day. 50 Monday, 59 on Tuesday, both days partly to mostly sunny. Then that midweek wave, Chris, with rain chances Wednesday evening into Thanksgiving morning. But 62 Wednesday, 47 for a cool Thanksgiving. And then we'll see lower 50s back in here Friday and Saturday.
You know, that turkey seems awfully excited for it to be chilly and somewhat rainy. I think he needs to tone it down just a little bit.
Yeah, it's like he wouldn't be dancing if we had to throw in snow and really drop those numbers down.
He shouldn't be dancing if we had to do that. Nick, thank you so much. Starting in sports, Danny Terzer here. Missouri Southern and Pittsburgh State men's basketball in action today.
The final day of the Chris Tucker Memorial Classic will have the latest from both those games coming up. Plus, the Seneca Indians are looking to punch their ticket to the Class 3 semifinals today against Mexico. Those highlights after the break.
Nick.
High school football playoffs continue today in Missouri. The Seneca Indians won the district championship last week in head coach Cody Hilburn's first year running the program. Today, Seneca gets a home game against Mexico in the Class 3 state quarterfinals. Mexico threatening on the first drive, but the Indians' defense comes up with a huge fourth down stop in the red zone. Scoreless after one, then Jackson Mars takes the handoff, crosses the goal line from 4 yards out. Seneca on top. Mexico responds on the following drive. Andrew Runge runs it in 8 yards for the Bulldogs touchdown. Game tied up at 7, and that's the score at the break in the third. Ty Sims finds Michael White over the middle. He takes it all the way in for the touchdown. Bulldogs have their first lead of the game. Later, Seneca gets the big play they need. Ball is dropped. Dominic Wheeler comes away with the turnover, but the Indians fumble on the very next play. Bulldogs go down and score on their possession off the turnover. It's White getting his second TD. Seneca falls to Mexico 20-7. The reigning Class 2 state champs are just 2 wins away from making it back to the state championship game. LAMAR meets Ava today in the quarterfinal round. Tigers up 7-0. Logan Crockett finds a lane, breaks a tackle, and there he goes, 60-yard touchdown run. LAMAR up 14-0. Ava answers back. Zach Richards rips off a run of his own. He gets into the end zone. LAMAR with a 7-point lead at half. The Tigers score again in the third. Joel Beshore in the air this time. Play action pass to Austin Wilkerson. That pushes the Tigers back up 14. Ava fakes the punt here to set up a field goal, but LAMAR blocks it. LAMAR rolls to the semifinals with a 35-14 win. Moving on to college basketball, the Missouri Southern women are still on the hunt for their first win of the season. Missouri Southern on the road today facing Missouri S&T. The Lions top the Miners 74-50. Anna Hall and Lacey Stokes lead the way, combining for 33 of the team's points. It's day 2 of the Chris Tucker Memorial Classic hosted by Missouri Southern. The Lions are up first. Missouri Southern hosting Truman State. Southern falls 95-89. RJ Smith puts up 25 points with 10 rebounds. The Pittsburgh State men also in action against Southwest Baptist. The Gorillas lead 43-37 at halftime. We'll have highlights from both those games at 10. The Division II National Championships for cross country are taking place in Tampa, Florida. Both the Pittsburgh State men and Missouri Southern men competed this morning. Individually for the Lions, JP Rutledge led the way with a 6th place finish in the 10K race. Teammate Ryan Riddle finished 20th. Both athletes earn All-American honors. The team placed 13th. As for Pittsburgh State, the team tied for 15th place. Matthew Oglesby was the first Gorilla to cross the finish line, coming in 65th place.
Certainly a lot of sports to cover. Like, you seem like you're almost out of breath, and there's still more to come tonight.
Absolutely. We've got basketball, football, everything combining, so it's an exciting time for sports.
It certainly is. We're going to have to just give you the whole show at 10. So, Danny, thank you. We're going to be right back.
Experience.
Tonight on the KOAM News at 10, we're heading back to Miami for a more in-depth look as the library celebrates its 100th birthday. Plus, we're taking you to the 30th annual Cecil Floyd Craft Show, and a local church is packing complete Thanksgiving meals for those in need in the community. You can join us for those stories and a lot more tonight on the KOAM News at 10. Well, 400 pairs of new shoes were given away to students in Chandler, Arizona on Friday. 17-year-old Sam Bregman orchestrated the giveaway at San Marcos Elementary School, where more than 40% of the students come from low-income households. Bregman is with the local chapter of a nonprofit called Shoes That Fit. Under his leadership, they collected more than $14,000 in donations from businesses and then used it to buy hundreds of pairs of new shoes at wholesale cost. They also gave away 2,000 pairs of socks at Friday's event. This is the second event Bregman has put on in the past year. He says they want to start an annual 5K run to raise money to help give them a giveaway with an annual event. certainly that's a lot of shoes, a lot of socks, but certainly going to those who need it. And I mean, it's kind of been the theme as we get closer to Thanksgiving.
Yeah, an absolute amazing cause.
Absolutely. Nick, something that we're thankful for, I suppose, is it's mild. It's not so bad for the end of November.
Yeah, and with the next wave coming in, we're not worried about snow. We can certainly be thankful for that. Usually we want to hold off on that until December. But a quick wave tonight will bring us some showers during the overnight and for Sunday morning. Then the rest of the day is dry with highs from 58, 50 Monday, 59 Tuesday. Then we'll watch for rain chances again Wednesday and into Thanksgiving.
And of course, a lot to be thankful for in sports coverage. I mean, you're just kind of going all over the place.
Well, certainly the Lamar Tigers, they get to extend their season. They're playing in the semifinals now with their win over Ava today.
All right. Good deal. Guys, thank you so much. That is our time for now. Remember, we're always on KOAMNewsNow.com. Of course, palm of your hand with the KOAM News Now app. And thanks for making us part of your night.